Good morning. It's our last week together. Out here on my patio again, but we're not going to draw or paint. Today we are going to take photographs because I know not all of you love to draw or paint. Some of you really love to get behind a camera and see what you can create. So today I'm going to take pictures throughout the day so you can see how the lighting changes, because lighting is so important. And I'm also going to talk to you about composition. So I hope you'll join me, and I hope you'll turn in some of your work, even some of your past work. Keep in mind that anything you turn in will benefit you. If you have a class with me again, I'll give you some extra credit. It'll help your grade this year. I appreciate everyone that's been tuning in every week, and I'd love to hear from you. Send me a message, drop me some photos, even just something you've taken casually. If I had to pick 5 things for you to really focus on, they would be using the rule of thirds, leading lines, pay attention to your background, look for contrast, frame your subject, and I've added a bonus one in here, point of view. Change your point of view, your eye level, below, above, at a corner. Let's break these down. And it's morning time, so you notice that the lighting is pushing this really cool looking shadow out to the side. So this is one of the reasons why you want to take pictures in the morning or in the evening, because you're going to have longer shadows and you can play with these in your composition. If we take pictures from too far away, then we have a lot of empty space around the sides that does not help lead us into the scene. But if we crop in really tight and play with our angle some, we have leading lines. This becomes a leading line now as it's coming in from the edge. Same thing over here. Interacting with the sides of your frame, filling the frame can create a more dynamic composition. Okay, here is that same grill. Just a few hours later, you can see that the shadow is not as long because the sun is nearly overhead. And so in the middle of the day, when the sun is high in the sky, you're not going to have those interesting shadows that can help fill your space. And also, when the sun is high in the sky, there's really not any light or shadows hitting the subject, and your subjects are going to look kind of flat. Okay, I've been waiting all day to show you this, but the light's not cooperating. It's just too cloudy today, so we're going to fake this in with my husband's flashlight. In the evening, there's something called golden hour lighting, and that's where the sun is going down and it's casting a really bright side lighting like you see right there. And so now you can see that there's much wider value range going from a highlight to a mid-tone to a darker shadow on the other side. And so that creates a lot more visual interest. Same thing on this one over here. Of course, you do kind of see some deep shadows over there. But again, if we have a really strong light source, and for photographers, often that's your sun, and late day is best for that. A lot of times when I see students take pictures, I see them take pictures from far away like this. And so when they do that, I don't really know what they want us to focus on. By themselves, each of these items, or in smaller groups, each of these items would be more interesting. So instead, figure out what you really want us to focus on and help us notice that. For example, I think that that purple flower, especially since it's kind of a rounded design, is the most interesting item over here. And already I noticed that I have these vines that are leading up, and I have these vertical lines that are leading down from my house, and this Eiffel Tower is leading up. So I have a lot of things that I could utilize to isolate this composition. We want to use rule of thirds, so I've got a grid on my camera and I can line this up so that my flower, take a screenshot here, so that my flower is in those thirds. Here, I'll try this another way. Now I'm changing my point of view. Let's come underneath this time. This time I'll get in really close. And don't forget to tap touch to bring things in focus. Shot, sometimes you have to get in really close. Take your viewfinder like I'm doing now and move it around. Find subjects, small subjects, like, okay, I see this leaf right here where the water is hitting. That's going to have some interesting reflections on it. Get in close. love this color, and this is a reflective object. This is why I say you have to get in close. Watch this. Get in tight. Move your subject around, kind of play with the rhythm. Keep your frame. Try getting down low. Here we've got a lot of interesting contrasting textures between the white and green specks on the ground and the spots that are on the leaf. Move that into rule of thirds. Touch tap to focus. Try finding objects that you can arrange. This was something the girls found while we were out walking, and they placed it near the rocks. I can move that up there to get that reflection going. Maybe add in this cool leaf, do kind of a little still life of subjects and contrasting textures and reflection. That layering will create a lot of visual interest. Get in tight. Look for leading lines. As I was looking at this, this has a nice blue color, and this is very warm. That's a warm, cool contrast. So what if I take this and I lay that leaf on top of this blue background? I'm going to take advantage of that ombre. Okay, so see, just by taking some time to examine your environment and get back to your childlike curiosity, you can learn to take some lovely pictures. Guys, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't watched my other videos, go back and check them out. Maybe you'll find some creative inspiration this summer and send those to me. I can post those anytime on Instagram. I guess really the most important thing I hope you're getting out of this time is that you are focusing more on slowing down. Get off of technology. Go outside. Listen to the birds. Take a walk with your parents. Take a walk with your grandparents if they're living with you. Learn to see those things that are really important and breathe deep. Think deep. I miss you guys. I hope to see some of you in the fall. Thanks for tuning in.